How far back do you go?
Welcome to Torah class. Here we are in the parsha. The week is yisro 5786, and that is 2026. Okay, so I posted in this class that we're going to discuss the difference between the form Torah was given and after Torah was given. So, what is if you look at it, superficial or maybe more than superficial, whatever you want to call it. As we know, there's 7 no-hide laws. You know about that. There is 6 Adam was commanded, instructed, 6 commandments. The 7th one was Noach with the eating from. You see, Adam was not allowed to eat from alive. Wasn't allowed to eat meat at all, right? He was the vegetarian, strict vegetarian, not only vegetables and fruits. And Noach, after the flood, he was allowed to eat meat, but Torah said not to eat from a live animal. First, the animal to die, then he can eat. He doesn't have to slaughter like a Jew, but they can't eat while it's alive.
That's exactly why you need to be vegetarian. Exactly why.
Okay. I mean, if a part of the animal came apart away, left separate from that while the animal's alive, that's prohibited to eat. Okay. Then you got the mitzvah of circumcision by Avram. Right? Then we got the commandment of not to eat the thigh, or gidanosha, we call the vein, the sinew of the thigh. Okay, and then you got Torah was given. Then we have the next 600 and so mitzvahs. Okay, well, that's
613 and 13. Sorry? 613.
Yeah, but we had 7 from Adam.
True, that is true.
7, and then you got 8th one was the circumcision, 9th one was the gidanosha, and then you got the Torah given. So that's an additional. That's what it seems like, and that's not the case. The Rambam, the Maimonides, gives a very clear instruction and says, "Simlach ilchagol." Put this main rule or this main rule that the mitzvahs that we keep is not because it was given before Torah was given. It's a whole different instructions. God, when God gave us the Torah, He gave us these instructions. So we keep the Torah, we keep all the mitzvahs God gave to us on Mount Sinai. It's a different category than before. Okay, and that's what the mitzvahs that we keep today is because God taught us on Mount Sinai. We're not doing it because it's before, because once Torah is given to us, it's a whole new setup. Question is what is it? What's to understand? We need to understand this concept. What's the difference, and why wasn't between the commands before Torah given and that one's after? Why can't we say it's a continuation? Why do we have to say it's a different category? What's the logic behind this? So to understand this, it says in the Medrash, okay, that there's like oil, like the smell, the what do you call it? The odor, bad smell, good smell, the ray or the smell from the oil, right? So for the avos, the forefathers were reiches hoyo. Their mitzvahs were like smell, okay, and our mitzvahs is shemen, is like oil, real stuff. Now, what exactly does that mean? What does it mean the oil? What does it mean smell? As you know, it smells really nothing, right? It smells good, but there's no substance to it. The main thing is the oil is the actual stuff. Okay? So let's try to understand the mitzvahs before Torah was given. Now, what's the main focus? Right? When you look at it, so let's give a parable as a person. Okay? What's the main thing? His body or his soul? Well, both important. The body expresses the soul. Right? What I mean to say, let's say a person's happy and he claps and his soul is happy, his feelings are happy, and it expresses itself in his body. Right? The more happy you are, the more he's happy, he'll start smiling. He's more happy, he'll start clapping. He's more happy, he'll start dancing. He's more happy, the more happy he'll get, the more excitement. So the body is expression from his soul, right? From his inner feeling. So there's 2 ways of really doing this. There's one way is you're very happy and you express yourself in your action. right? There's another way, the other vice versa. You want to get excited. You're not you're a little down, or someone might be a little down. So what you do, starts dancing, singing, and jumping around, and that way he'll wake up his feelings will get alert, will get awakened. You know what I mean? He's not so happy, so he starts dancing and singing, and getting himself all freilach, as they say. He will get the old Lebedik excitement. Maybe that way, that's what happens. He'll cause him to get awakened, right? So you can have both ways. So basically, the body is an expression of the soul, right? So it's not like, it's not the you have marks in your face when you're so happy. Is that the main thing? You see someone smiling, you see dimples, whatever. What is it? It's not the dimples. It's the expression of his feelings, right? So, before Torah was given, okay, the main thing was the feelings, the soul. Okay, for example, let's give an example to explain what I'm talking about. Yaakov, or our forefather Jacob, right? As you probably know, you're probably familiar with the story of Jacob, while he was by Lavan, and Lavan, with the whole thing with the sheep, and Lavan said, if the speckled and the sheep will be your sheep, and the ones who are not speckled, so the way Yaakov will be paid is the speckled and the all the ones that have all these different types of marks on the different shape or different types of sheep will be Jacob's sheep. What did Jacob do? What did Yaakov do? When the sheep came to drink, he took certain types of wood, hazelnuts, and other ones I don't remember now. Other types of sticks, and he peeled. If you peel the sticks, you have white marks, right? That's like that. The animals saw those sticks, and they bore children like this. The vision, how the sticks look like, and that's how he got. Even though they weren't spotted or speckled, they came like that. They came because they saw those marks on the sticks, right? And the Torah gives a whole explanation how it worked and what Yaakov did. The whole business, the whole thing Torah discusses over there in the book Bereshis, in the book of Genesis, in the parsha of Vayetze. Okay, so comes the Zohar, and the Zohar says, Yaakov's peeling that sticks. That was tefillin. That's how Yaakov put on tefillin. Imagine, think about it. And, you see white pieces, you see white peels, like a tefillin. There's black on your arm, and then there is the white, because between the when you have tefillin on, you have like 7 straps or 7 or on your arm, and then you have like white and black. That looks like the sticks. Yeah. Interesting. So what we accomplished through putting on tefillin, Yaakov accomplished it through peeling those sticks. Imagine. So what was the main thing? What was the main thing for Yaakov before Torah was given? The main thing was the spirituality of it, right? The ruchnius, the spiritual part of it, the feelings. How it expresses itself, it doesn't really matter. That's not the main thing. The main thing was the spirit. Now, when we do on tefillin, okay, simple meaning, simple kavanah, simple concentration. You bind on your arm and on your head, and the idea is that you bend it. Why you put one explanation is you have to give you bend your arm to your hand to your arm to your heart. That means you don't do whatever you want. You're not free to or what you feel you want to do. You tie yourself down in your mind. You don't think whatever you want. You think. Of course, you think whatever you want. But I'm saying you don't. It's free. There's certain things that you bend your mind and your heart and your head, your mind to Hashem. That's the idea of tefillin. You tie it, right? Now that's a simple explanation. The simple concentration is deeper meanings, more spiritual meanings, and it's higher meanings, higher and higher and higher, and it goes on and on and on. All this mystical meanings, and so much you can think about that. What tefillin signifies, and you go on and on and on. Okay, Yaakov maybe had all these intentions, but he didn't have to put on tefillin like we do today to accomplish these concepts. He didn't have to put on tefillin. Also, when you do tefillin, when we do tefillin, we bring down certain light to the world. We accomplish something. We elevate it. We accomplish through putting on tefillin. Yaakov didn't need a tefillin made out of straps from a cow, right? And ink and all the he did it just repeating sticks. Why? Very simply, why? Because before Torah was given, you didn't need a physical. You didn't need a tefillin to accomplish these. You didn't need a parchment made out from skin of an animal to accomplish it. The main thing is the spiritual concept of it. The main thing is the spiritual idea of what is going on over here. Comes what's the name? Comes the Torah was given. The whole thing changes. The main thing is the gashmis, the mitzvah, the physical, right? If someone, okay, if someone has all the meaning, he thinks of all the meanings of film. He thinks all the mystical meanings, and you name it, he thinks about it. But he doesn't put on tefillin, actually. It's not his fault. He doesn't have a tefillin. He's in prison. He doesn't have it. Tefillin's not available. Did he accomplish anything? And the answer is no. He didn't accomplish anything. I mean, he didn't do what very nice. He had all these meanings, but he didn't do the mitzvah. The mitzvah is not fulfilled. Right? So the main thing is, let's talk about matzah, right? Passover. What's the idea of matzah? You ask anybody, what's the idea of matzah? He'll probably tell you, well, it reminds you of the Seder night, go in Egypt, and God, Egyptians enslaved us, and we never need, right? And God did all the miracles and the 10 plagues, and God saved us and took us out of Egypt, and right, and we eat the matzah to remind us of all this, of what happened.
Not leavened.
Sorry,
it's a bread that did not leaven.
Oh, thank you. The bread didn't leaven. You have all the. That's why we eat the matzah, right? If that's the only reason, or eat the matzah to remind us of all what happened, what's so important? All the details. Oh, so many halachas how the matzah should be done. There's so many details. There's chapters and chapters in the book of Shulchan Aruch, book of Jerusalem, how it should be done, and the flour, and if a drop of water touched it, if it's more than 18 minutes, and all these details. If the main thing is the spiritual point of it, is to remind us of God, Egypt, so what's so important? We have matzah, so's 18 minutes, big deal. Why are you making such a it's a chametz? 17 minutes and 59 seconds is okay. 18 minutes, 1 second more, it's not okay. It's chametz. I mean, why making such a big deal? It's just come on. The point is got through. You eat the matzah, and you remember, and it reminds you of everything what happened. Why are we making it such a big deal out of the details? This is an example. Matzah is every mitzvah like that. Tefillin, way should be done. Every letter should be right, and if one letter is not missing, and it's not so many laws, and how the ink should be exactly, and if there's one part of the ink is not there, if it's missing one part, one drop, then the tefillin is disqualified, and mezuzah and has to be written in order, and if you write it not in order, and it's no good. It has to be written in the order that it's written in Torah, and all these details. What's the big? Why are we making such a why are we making it so complicated? Or why is it so complicated? If it's the main thing, the spiritual part of it, who cares? Right? But the halacha is no. The Shulchan Aruch says no, it has to be this, has to be that, has to be the other. Why? Taka, why? And that's the whole point of giving. Because after Torah was given, the main thing is the gashmis, the physical, material mitzvah. That's the main thing. And let's turn the circle, let's turn the coin around. Let's say a guy came Passover, he did not want to eat the matzah. Refused. He didn't want to eat the matzah. I don't want to eat matzah. No, I'm not eating. Comes a guy, and he whips him with he goes, and I don't know, and he gives him a shmais and whips him, a non-Jew, I don't know, someone comes and whips him up and forces him to eat the matzah. And he ate it because he was being beaten up. And he was afraid of his life. And he ate it. Okay. Later on that night, he felt, he regrets, I want to eat matzah. I think I do want to eat matzah. I do want to eat it. Could he make a bracha now on the matzah? The asher, that you commanded us with our mitzvahs to eat matzah. Could he make that? Before we eat the matzah, there's two blessings we make. Hamotzi lechem, like any bread, and there's another special blessing we make because God commanded us to eat matzah. Could you make that? Could the guy who was forced to eat the matzah a few hours, a little earlier, now he wants to eat it willingly, could he now make a bracha on that matzah? That God commanded him matzah, and the answer is no, absolutely not, because he already did it. He already did it. He was forced. Doesn't matter. The fact is, he ate the matzah. It doesn't make a difference what he thought. It does not. It's totally irrelevant. Of course, it's important. But as far as what I mean, I mean what is important for the mitzvah, as far as the mitzvah is concerned, as far as the mitzvah's point of view, did he do the mitzvah?
I don't understand. I'm sorry. I have to ask.
Please.
At this point. At the Leil Seder, we say Hamotzi Lechem.
Correct.
And immediately after that, we say Al Achilat Matzah.
Correct. Yeah.
So maybe I misunderstood what you said. So I still have to say the blessing.
He did. He was forced. He didn't make the blessing.
Oh. Sorry, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, he did want to eat the matzah.
Yeah.
He was forced. He was beaten up until he did it.
Yeah.
And then he changed his mind, whatever it is. No, I want to eat matzah. So now he willingly wants to eat the matzah. Maybe he was mad, whatever it was. He didn't want to eat the matzah. Whatever the reason, doesn't make a difference, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference what the reason is, what the circumstance. Fact is, this is what happened. Could he make a bracha now? Amotzi al achilas matzah.
No.
No. Now he wants to do it, and before he didn't want to do it. It doesn't make a difference. Was the mitzvah accomplished? Was the mitzvah done? And the answer is yes. He didn't have the. Excuse me. He didn't have the proper. He didn't have the proper. Machshava, the proper kavanah, the proper thought. It doesn't matter. So we see here that after Torah was given, the main thing is the action. Okay, so basically, what was accomplished by giving by Torah was given to us is that actually doing the mitzvahs in a physical and material. The main thing before Torah was given, it was a kavanah, a thought. Now the main thing is action, the actual doing it. It's not so much the kavanah, the concentration. Of course, you should have concentration, but it's not the main thing. Why? Why is it so? Why did this change happen? Where do we see the change? And the answer is the first commandment, the Torah that God gave us by the 10 Commandments. What does it say? Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Tesich. I am your God. Anochi. Where does it come from? See, the idea of Hashem, which is Yud K, I can't say the name, but Yud K Vav K, those 4 letters, and Elokim are names of Hashem. That's not the essence. What does Anochi mean? Anochi means I. What level is that? I am your God. When God says I am your God, God means the high I, who I am.
I am who I am.
That's right. The high is Anochi Misha. Anochi stands for Ana, Nafshi, Aleph Nun Chaf Yud. Ana, Aleph stands for Ana. I. The Talmud says this in Shabbos, in Gemara, in Gemara, and Talmud of Shabbat. Ana, me, I, Nafshi, my soul. The Kaf stands for Kasavit, I wrote it. And the Yud stands for Yehavit, I gave it. I gave my soul. I wrote and my soul was written and given. I gave myself in the Torah. That's higher than everything. It's the essence of God. Essence of God is higher than spiritual, higher than everything. God, spiritual is also is lower than God. God is higher, is not spiritual. God's beyond spiritual, beyond physical. God is higher than everything. Spiritual is also certain has its boundaries, has its borders. God is beyond that. Right? And God said, if you do these commandments, you're going to get me, my essence. How is it done? By actually physically, materially doing the commandments of God. So therefore, that was given by Matan Torah. By Torah was given. So before Torah was given, you had all these mitzvahs. That was a spiritual, in a spiritual sense. You didn't get the essence of God with that. The forefathers did the commandments, even if they were commanded. You see, there is a what I mean, just a small point, just to explain something, a side point, but just important to know. It can help us understand what we're talking about here. There is what's greater: you're commanded to do something, or you do something voluntarily.
Volunteer.
Volunteer, simply, it seems to volunteer because I'm not commanded and I do it. That's what it seems like. And the Talmud actually says that Yosef thought a blind person, he thought he was blind. He thought, if someone tells me I'm blind but not obligated to the mitzvahs, I'll make a big party for the rabbis, because he thought that if you're not commanded, it's greater. But then he found out if you're commanded, it's greater.
Oh.
Why? Because you have opposition. You have the yisro stuff. It's much greater when if you're not commanded, the opposition is not so strong. It's not so difficult. It's more harder to do it when you're commanded, because then you have the opposite yisro stopping you. The time was it's great if you're commanded, because then you have the opposite. You have the yisro telling you not to, and you overcome it. You overcome the challenge, so it's more valuable.
But a minute ago, you said that a person needs to show intent, kavanah, when he needs to make mitzvah, which means he needs to want it, he needs to desire it, and he makes the mitzvah.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're not commanded, you don't have the challenge so much. It's not you don't have the yisro standing so much against it. But when you're commanded, yisro tries to stop you. So when you overcome it, it's harder. So it's more valuable.
I see.
Something that comes easy is not so valuable, right? Someone gives you your diploma in a university without working hard.
There's a bracha levatala.
Right, yeah. Bracha levatala, exactly. It doesn't mean anything. It has no value. It's harder. It has much more valuable, right?
Yeah.
You work hard on something, you get it. Oh, it's more valuable. So back to here.
But I'm sorry. Last question. I apologize.
Yeah.
But a person that wakes up in the morning, he needs to wake up to pray shacharit.
Yeah.
But it's cold outside. It's like 5 degrees outside. Do I really want to wake up and go and drive to the synagogue to play shacharit? And then, and it's late at night. Do I really want to drive? The traffic, there's everything else. Do I really want to do that? I'm not sure. But if I overcome that resistance, what I read is that there is joy in that I overcame that hardship and I want to do it. That's I think that's where it's difficult.
100%. That's exactly what we're saying here. When you do something when it's harder, it's more valuable. Yeah. So before Torah was given, okay, you had the 7 commandments. You have some commandments. You even had the commandment of the Brit Milah. So seemingly great. It's not like certain mitzvahs were done voluntarily. These mitzvahs, like Yaakov's film with the wood that we said earlier. No, you commanded. So you have the reward. So it seems you have everything there. You have the commandments, right? It's still considered like smell. It's not the essence.
Yeah. After
Torah is given, it comes from God Himself. God commanded us, much higher level. Essence of God was command us to do those commandments, and therefore it's much, much greater, even in the 7 commandments and the Brit Milah and the Gideon. So we do it now. The Rambam says that when Maimonides says that when God gave us the Torah, He regave it to rewrote. Now it came like a re-given, new in a different ballgame. It was given to us in another step, in a whole different level. And this is so special about mitzvah that we do today. Of course, I'm not again. I spoke about all the material part of mitzvah. Of course, you should have the kavanah, you should have the concentration. It's much more better and definitely much more valuable. And it says if you put daven without kavanah, if you daven without a concentration, it's like a body without a soul. It's all that stuff. Of course, you should have concentration. But what I'm trying, the proper meaning, the proper intention, of course. But what we're saying is, what's the main thing? What makes it or breaks it? What makes it or breaks it is if you physically did it, materially did it, or you didn't do it. And God should bless everyone. We should continue doing the mitzvahs and realize the value of actual of doing God's commandments. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Sorry, Rabbi, really quick. So I say Amida, right?
Yeah.
And my mind walks away.
Yeah.
So if I force myself back to certain part of Amida and try to concentrate, it's more valuable that I just do it fluently.
It's more valuable. Work on yourself. Yes, for sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.